Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Joe Daddy's Garage. Today, I'm going to show you the Mustang, or at least where it's at right now in the shop. And we're going to talk about, Mustangs, Camaros, classic cars dating from the 60s to the 70s, somewhere in that era. And usually have a pretty good following of people that come along for the ride. And we, people want to ask a question, they can ask a question. We try to answer it. And if we get a good answer, whoops, you get a bell. Little reward system for participating. I had forgotten to update some of the parameters on YouTube. So give me just a second while I address that, because if I don't, we'll have somebody try to interfere with the live stream. I have to change some settings. And once those are set up, we're usually pretty good. I know we have several that have checked in early, and that's good. I know Greg was here early from Greg's workshop in Australia. So I'm glad Greg is here. Let me see, make sure I have all these things set in the right position. So one more thing. And let me update. I didn't even write the whole title out. I hope everybody's doing well. It's been a good day so far here. I've gotten a few things done on the car, as you can see behind me. And I see I have the little Wi-Fi thing going again. So maybe if I freeze, I'll be back. Sorry if it's causing problems. But I'm glad you're still here. Hopefully this fixes itself. Usually tries to. So anyway, we had Greg's workshop checking in early. Brian Bergen checking in. Rick Stevenson. Brian asked a question. I would like to know if anyone suggests an instrument cluster restorer that they have used and we're happy with results and pricing. So if anybody has any input on that. I have not used one. Everything I've done, I've pretty much done, my own sort of thing. So again, I hope this thing is working okay. I see a slow Wi-Fi button up there. Jerry. Oh, let me see here. Okay, Jerry is checking in from Middle Tennessee. Don Farbach. Hi, everyone. Glad you're here. Bob Shoemaker is checking in from Oklahoma. David and Cheryl. Hello, Barry and everyone. We're both checking in from hot and muggy Missouri. Let me put on my readers so I can read these better. And Phil from sunny checking in from too sunny today, California. For those of you from Rio Linda, that means it's hot. Okay. Raleigh Cat Garage. Harvey is checking in from the beach. He's at an air show on the beach, or at least he was earlier. And Thomas Williams, your garage has helped me immensely. Awesome. That is good to hear. That is good to hear. I need a little bit of coffee. So as you can see behind me, I've moved Jade to the main shop. This allows me to finish. Well, I got a couple things that happen in the back. I need to get the trunk seal on the deck lid or deck lid seal, whatever, and then I need to finish color sanding and buffing the deck lid. I'll do a little work on the valance panels, so that those are taken care of. And I'm really hoping I'm not froze. But I'll do a little work on the valance panels, make sure they're right. And then, I can get the deck lid on the car and move forward. That's where I'm at right now. So I put the extensions on the back of the car, and I put the door handles on, so I can get in and out, door locks. Of course, the wheels are on, all that sort of thing. And, it's looking pretty good. Now, I'm my own worst critic. I keep seeing this thing kind of act weird. I'm my own worst critic. So I'm going to pick out all the flaws because that's what I do. So I still see some sanding scratches that I'll probably address. It's just a torture for me. I hope this is working. I don't know if I hope it's not froze up. I know I keep seeing this. I don't know why it keeps on doing this. Because the Wi-Fi is not even on. That's the thing. All right. David and Cheryl hit the thumbs up to help Barry out. Yes, by all means. Do that on all the videos. Rusty's Mustang Garage, good afternoon. Checking in. Jade is looking good. Yes, I agree. Jerry is asking, Barry, have you slotted holes in the door hinges to get more adjustment? I have. I had to do that on not original hinges, but I had to do it on aftermarket hinges. I think I demonstrated that on the light blue Mustang that I did years ago because I had a problem, could not get enough movement. And so I took a rotary file and I enlarged the hole and allowed for more movement of the door. So that, unfortunately, I don't know if you have original hinges or aftermarket, but that's why I try to avoid the aftermarket hinges for sure. Thomas says it's working better without Wi-Fi. Yeah, and the thing is, I don't even know how it's able to try to use Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi is turned off of the laptop. It's off, and it's on airplane mode. It's on an Ethernet cable. I've been fighting with this for months, and I really believe it's probably the laptop more than anything. Jerry says he has aftermarket hinges, and he needs about an 1/8 inch more movement. Yep, get out the rotary file. Hog them things out. That's all you can do. I know that I've run into that before. I've actually run into that on a variety of vehicles with aftermarket hinges, not just on Mustangs. I've seen it on Camaros too. So I had to enlarge those holes before. Anyway, so at this point, I'm my own worst critic on the car. I can still see some sanding scratches here and there, and I may have to fully address those before I, say I'm happy with the paint. But I am happy with the paint. It's much better than it was. Much, much better. There are still a few little areas that just nothing I can do about it. On the passenger side, there is a dot, let's say, might be a 1/16 of an inch that for some reason it's gray. It's like a primer, like it was a bubble or something. Why? I don't know. It's a perfect little circle and it's very, very tiny, but I can see it. So I'll probably end up just dabbing some color on there just to try to just to try to dab some color into that. So Paul Lee saw the great entrance into the garage. Car has a nice growl to it. Yes, it does. He's talking about I actually had a quick live stream video on Facebook just to pull the car in because I wanted to get it inside and get the air conditioning turned back on. So it's now helping to cool it back down. It's still a little warm in here, but it's getting better. Brian, probably nothing, but I noticed when you changed your setting, it started acting up. Yeah, well, I haven't changed any settings. I mean, as far as on the computer, I haven't done anything from that aspect. I can click on it and verify the fact that it's on airplane mode and that the Wi-Fi is turned off, but that's all. Regular guy, great info. Love the channel. What direction do you have the fans blowing for your paint booth? They're blowing out. So, yeah, you have to have them blowing out. You want to evacuate any kind of fumes or overspray stuff. And so, yeah, blowing out. Amarante Detailing. Hey, Barry. Hi, guys. I'm glad you're here. I haven't seen you in a while. Maybe you can come by and buff this car for me. Get it completely the way I want it, perfect. Because I know you're probably much better at it than I am. I keep finding little tiny areas where maybe some sandy scratches, I didn't get them out completely, and that's just going to drive me crazy, But I'll probably work on it some more, get them cleaned up. But it's just little things. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, I will have a video out tomorrow, basically just doing a walk around of the car and of the buffing process, just a time lapse with a little music on it. What I've been trying to do now is put together maybe some shorter segment videos. Maybe, depending on how long they are, it depends on whether I put them up by themselves or not. So if I do I don't think I'll have any that are 5 minutes, but if I do, I'll have to put 2 of them together so I have enough time for YouTube to like it, whatever. So, I did a little video on putting on the extensions. I did a video on putting in the door handles and the locks. And I mean, I've already shot this stuff, and I thought about, maybe I'll just call them, Jade quick shots or something. I don't know, but I try to show these little detail things rather than, a long video where I'm going to put on the extensions, I'm going to put on the door handles, I'm going to put on this, So I'm thinking I might do something like that. I do need to dig out, I don't know where it's at, my headliner, and start prepping it, get it out in the sun, and see what happens with it. Because that's high on the list of things to get done. Because once the headliner is in, then of course the windshield can go in and the back glass can go in, and all the stuff is associated with the headliner. So hopefully I don't even know where it's at right now. I hope it's still in good shape because it's been in a box since I bought the car, maybe even longer. Dave, first Dave sighting, I think. No, actually, Dave and Cheryl were here. I take that back. I missed that. David and Cheryl should get that bell. There's a bell for David and for Cheryl. So Dave gets his own bell, independent. Let's see. He says, lots of blue behind you there. No, it's not. It's aqua. It's aqua. Let me see. It's aqua. See? Look, aqua. 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 That's the color. It's not blue. It's not blue. Brian, I'm getting ready to set up my exhaust fans for painting. Do you have an opinion which is better, fans high or near the floor? Well, you really kind of want them lower, I would say. Just my opinion. I know when we had our paint booth and stuff, the exhaust fan was at the bottom of the plenum. And so it would pull from basically pull things down and forward off of the car. The ones I have in the window, they work, but ideally they should probably be lower so that it's pulling air down from the top and out, ideally. So I would rather have them near the floor. Bob, afternoon, Bear. Hope you're doing good. I'm up in Detroit. Yep, I am doing good today. Thank you for asking. David Sherrill, it's the new Aqua Dave. Or is it the new Aqua Dave? Okay, so Jack, the one and only Jack is here. Yes, you get a Jack bell. Glad you're here, Jack. Dave Conville just busting you on the color. Yeah, I know. But you know what? When I take it out for cruises or something, nobody's going to go, that's blue. They're going to see it. They're going to know. Looks great. Thank you. I agree. Let me just do something here. I don't know if this will help or not. There's probably not enough sunlight coming in. There we go. pretty. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm trying to get, steps done. I want to get the taillights in it. I just feel like I need to see the taillights in it. But I also have to say, wait a minute, you're not done yet. Finish buffing out the deck lid, finish the valance panels, that sort of thing. It's easy to go off on these tangents and go, oh, I want to see what that looks like. I want to see what that looked like. I want to see what that looks like, and go from there. But I have to try to maintain some sort of focus, I guess. Amarante, it's a perfect blue car. Yep. Yep. Let me highlight this. That's the same color. That's the same color. That's we'll go with that. We'll go that route. Let's see. Cooter checking in from the oven known as Oklahoma, missing the Minnesota weather for my trip last week. Yeah. So it's hot in Oklahoma. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That is kind of let's see. Yeah, I have to visualize where Oklahoma is on the big map. It's easy to point out like Texas, California, Nevada, New Mexico, Oklahoma. There's a panhandle somewhere in there. But yeah, I would imagine the weather was nice in Minnesota. We've had a couple good days here. It's been the humidity was a little lower the last couple days. It's picking up now, but that's the way it is. Nothing you can do about it. And of course, the temperatures are going up. And again, that's the way it is. So, I have like I said, I have the AC going. It's going to have to take a little bit for it to catch up. Normally what I do is I come out in the morning and I turn the AC on at like when I take my dogs out, probably 7:30, 8 o'clock, and start letting it cool down. And then by the time I get outside, being cooler from overnight and then the coolness from the AC unit sets it up pretty nice in here. In fact, you can probably see, yeah, there's a thermometer on the back wall over there, and that's about 75. Maybe say 76, something like that. But no updates yet on the 67 coupe that I've mentioned before that I did make the deal on that 67 coupe, and I'm not ready for it yet, so no updates on that. I think the guy, he knows that I'm buying it, so he's not in a hurry, I think, to get it out of his way, thankfully. Rick, traveling down I-95 through Georgia today. Well, it's a nice day to be driving, I'll say that. And I'm enjoying some of your coffee as well. Good stuff. What else was there? Was something else I was going to mention. Oh, I talked before about this light, this little Braun light, and I was experimenting with it even more. This thing, you probably ought to get something like this, even if it's not this one. You probably ought to get something like it. I tried another light that was sent to me, but it was way too bright for the purpose, at least with the clear coat on the car. It was like just a high-powered light, like a spotlight kind of thing. And when I turned it on, I kind of blinded myself because it's too bright. This thing, though, this little Braun light from Harbor Freight, that's probably the good way to go. I was happy with that. Paul, hi Barry, do you mix multiple containers before you start spraying, or mix as you go? Yes. What I normally do, I will set up the paint can with my little tape funnel. I'll mix up 2 containers of, this size. I'll mix up 2, and then what I do is I go spray out the 2 I come back and I reload these two. I don't want to keep on going through my PPS cups and just, tossing them. So I will come back in, take this apart, take the top off, reload, and reshoot with those. So I've also do that with the clear. So I'll mix up. I think I actually mixed up 3 containers because I did want to make sure I was good on my clear in the process. So I think I mixed up 3 at a time for the clear, and it worked out good for me. But I had to reload, those 3 containers again. It's a little easier for me. It seems to make sense because I'm not throwing away multiples of my my PPS cups. Got to try to recycle where I can and save what I can. Amarante, I use lights like that in my job. There's a brand called Scan Grip that are the best ones as far as I know. Interesting. So I know this particular light is meant for making sure you have enough color when you're spraying base coat. That's what this is for. So I don't know if your light, if you're talking, is meant, because I know you do detail work. So I don't know if you're talking about using it for checking for detail, checking for scratches, that sort of thing, if it does just as good, or if you're talking about one that is similar to this for the paint process. So, when you're spraying the base on, if you had something like this, you can, it's bright. So you can see if you've got good coverage. Doesn't really matter after you have clear coat on. You can't do anything about it anyway. David Sherrill saying, Brian, check out Wally's channel. That's 68 Mustang Restoration. He did an exhaust fan setup for painting his car, and he did. That was a pretty cool thing. He made a ducted fan. He made all the duct work for it, and really nice setup. I thought about doing something similar at some point, but I don't know. I'm not, I've said it before. Painting is not high on my to-do list. I'm not painting is not what makes me happy. Welding makes me happy. Cutting metal, even body work makes me happy. Painting just makes me anxious and stressed out. And I think we all recognize that. Amarante, yes, they are. The ones I use are called color match lights and are designed for the body shop, actually. Okay. Well, the ones, we used to have a sun gun at the body shop, is what we use, a 3M sun gun. And I know that thing is $500 or $600. The nice part about this thing, I think it was $40, and it worked for what I needed it. I couldn't justify spending $500 or $600 on a light like that. And I got my Wi-Fi thing coming back again. It's acting weird. Brian says he'll do that. Thank you. Yeah. Check out what Wally did. I know Wally is backpedaling right now. He had done a lot of body work to his car. He had done a lot of prep work to his car. He had done primer. And I know he was excited about the idea of getting his paint booth ready and starting to spray paint. And then he started doing some more sanding and realized he wasn't where he wanted to be. So he's kind of backpedaling and stepping back a few steps to try to take care of some issues. I know exactly what that's like, and it's rough, but I'd rather he do it now than after he sprayed the whole car and go, oh, that's not good, and have to deal with that. So I feel sorry for him, but I know he's going to make it right, and it'll be nice. Now, I was going to say, the fenders are done for the car. The fenders are done. I need to put on the splash guards, get those in place, and then I think I go ahead and mount the fenders on. I held off just because I wanted to make sure everything was cleaned up underneath here and prepped. But if I put the splash guards on, then I can go ahead and hang the fenders, which is a big step. That's gonna be really nice to have those fenders in place. The hood, I'm pretty confident that it's where it needs to be as far as alignment. When I set everything together in the booth to paint, I had just kind of just set it there. I had adjusted it some, but I did not like final adjust everything. So I'll have to play with the hood maybe a little bit, the fenders a little bit, but I think it'll all work out and be good. And what else? What else was there to do? I realized that the alignment is off too. When I had it outside earlier, I noticed my front wheels are kind of towed out, so I'm gonna have to address that. Try to get those squared up a little more before I do any kind of. Obviously, it needs an alignment. I have a friend who he kind of has some tools to do that, so we may end up doing the alignment ourselves. Just because, a lot of these shops these days, they're all set up for modern cars, and I don't even know of any local places now that can do a classic car alignment. It shouldn't be that hard, you would think, but I don't know for sure. I'll have to do some research on that. Currently, I am putting the trunk seal on the deck lid. So I'm about a quarter of the way around right now. And I have it started to glue it down. I'm making a little video on that. Shouldn't be that difficult, and the thing about putting in a trunk seal or any of that kind of seal is you can easily make a big mess real quick. That weather strip adhesive, it's like stringy, and you can you end up dragging it all over the place. So you have to be kind of careful with that. So like I said, I'm making these little videos. I'm going to try to, I don't know if I'll try to put out several a week right now, while things are rolling. I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes, but I know I'm going to be filming these little segments and putting stuff together. JR's Paint Shop, new to your channel. What are some of your favorite clears? Beautiful Mustang and beautiful paintwork. Thank you. Well, the only clear that I've in the past at our old body shop, we probably used some more high-end PPG clears. And to be honest, the clear that's on this car is not what I would say, high-end. It's not. It's made by Value Pro. Now, I get a little bit of a discount at the PPG store, but I know that the kit, the base or the clear and the hardener was still, with my little discount, was still $200, which, you can say, oh, that's a cheap clear. Well, maybe so. The alternative is you spend $500 or $600 or $1,000 or whatever on different, high-end clears. Now, as I've talked about this before, like with my PPG rep, I said, do I need to spend $500 on a clear coat? And he said, are you going to be keeping it outside in the weather every day, all day? And I'm like, no. He said, well, then don't waste your money. He said, if you're going to keep it inside, just drive it around occasionally and, do shows and stuff. There's no reason you don't need a $500 clear. So keep that in mind. That's just his opinion, and I value his opinion. So that's what I go with. He knows a lot more about paint. He's been doing it for a long time. He actually paints cars himself. So, I'm with him on that. Why am I going to spend $500-$600 on a clear coat when the car's never going to be outside, really, never going to be exposed. Regular guy, love your Iron Man mascot. I even showed him to the wife. Cool. Very cool. Jerry, I like the European clear. It lays down nice. I think I've used a European clear before. I don't remember which specifically that I used, but it did lay out nice. It did a good job. So I agree with you on that. All right. David Stepp. What's the deal with your action figure? It's always in the background. I believe I've seen it in the past, but I've never heard of its reasoning. Well, it's funny. And I've put Iron Man. He's been in like almost every single video that I've done over the last, I don't know how many years now. And it started off it started off as, well, let's put it this way. I watched a video one time of a guy who took little action figures uh, on in a work environment, right? Like a little Superman, a little Batman. I don't know what it was, and he did a time lapse where he put all the action figures to work, and it like moved all the drills, and they moved the pieces of wood, and it was really time consuming for him to do all that. And it was pretty cool watching that stuff. So it looked like kind of cool, little stop motion guys moving around. And I've always had a liking of Iron Man. When I was a kid, I remember reading not an original Iron Man, but a copy of what would have been the original Iron Man and the story behind him, and or some variation, let's say. And I don't know, it just kind of stuck with me that this guy had to figure out a way to keep himself alive, to escape his captives, and then turn that into kind of a superhero thing. So I have a thing for Iron Man. The guy, the character, Tony Stark, is, of course, he's a billionaire, whatever, but, he's an engineer, he's a welder, he's a mechanic. He fits all those things in life that is I kind of aspire to, I guess. So as a tribute to the Iron Man person, I just kind of throw Iron Man in and do that. So hope that answers the question. I know it's a little corny, but it also gives people something to look for, because not everybody wants to look at me all day. Even though I get the Tom Hanks thing sometimes, it gets people going, where's Iron Man? Let's find Iron Man, just kind of a fun little thing to do. Jay, is it a pain to change motor mounts on a 73 Z28? Well, that's a tough question to answer because, are you talking about changing them like in the car? Is that what the question is? Or are you changing just the upper mounts? Are you changing the lower mounts? Are you changing the assembly? Are you putting in rigid mounts? Are you going back to with the rubberized stock style? I mean, there's a lot of variables on it. Okay, putting a new engine in. Oh, well then, if you're putting in a new engine, that shouldn't be any problem at all. You got full access. Pull it out, swap them over. Yeah, that's not a problem. I mean, if you're just talking about putting stock things back together, there's nothing to it. It just unbolts and bolts on. Shouldn't be a problem at all. Rick, metalwork all welded on my car. Bodywork begins and prep for final paint. Hopefully. Cool. Hopefully. We'll see how that goes. So anyway, David, I hope that answers your question. I mean, just something fun. One day I did a little shot. I think it was with Jade, where I had another version of Iron Man, like helping hold up the deck lid. Like I was trying to make him help me do things, but I realized pretty quick that I can't. It's not going to work that way. So I'll just put him in a stationary position. Mark, Jay, I thought the bolts were hard to get to. Well, if you're pulling the engine out, I mean, everything's going to be wide. It should be wide open. I assume you're pulling the exhaust manifolds or headers or whatever you have holding it together. Should just be 3 bolts going up the side of the block. If you're putting in a small block, like a 350 or whatever, it should just be 2 upper and 1 lower. And yeah, shouldn't be any that difficult at all. I have a, I have a 383 stroker engine sitting on the floor over there. I mean, they're easy to get to. Okay, so wait a minute. So now it says I'm talking about the motor mounts on the frame. Okay. Well, I'm trying to. I'd have to envision those because I haven't done one of those in quite some time. They shouldn't be though. They shouldn't be. Now, let me ask you this: if you're doing this, is I'm trying to remember the configuration because I haven't looked at one of these in quite some time. Let me just pull this up. Just because I'm curious. I want to see. So you're talking about, okay. It's got the I believe the nuts are loose on the backside is what you're referring to. Is what you're referring to. I get it now. So basically, um, I think you have to go up through the where the control arms bolt in. I believe, and get a wrench up in there. It's a little difficult, but the thing is, let me point this out to you. I'm only looking at some pictures online. The lower motor mounts appear to be rigid. In other words, the uppers have the rubber built into them, and the lower is just a rigid mount point. So my question would be, what's the value in removing them? Now that's just one I'm seeing. This could be a different configuration. So that's all I have. That's all I have to go by at this point. Because again, I haven't done one of those in a while. But if I'm just trying to see what else. Yeah, if the lower section's rigid, I don't know what you would gain from changing those, unless like the hole is worn out or something. So, okay, just thought you might have some advice. Yeah, well, I get that. And looking at the pictures, what's available, it looks like the part mounted to the frame is a rigid portion. There's no rubber in it at all. At least the ones that I'm seeing. So I'm just going to say it may not be of any value to change them. Just replace the rubberized part, the upper part, if that makes sense. Big Red checking in. Hey, Barry and Miss Sweet Jade. Yes, glad you're here. John Bravo, cannot believe you painted it 3 times. I would shoot myself. I didn't paint it 3 times. I painted it twice. Twice. I didn't paint it 3 times. Twice. That's all. Just 2 times. Just 2 times. That's all. But it turned out really nice. I'll say that. Jay, you're welcome. Okay, so Jay's saying if that's the case, then it should be easy. I haven't done it in 20 years. Thanks again. Yeah, like I said, if the part that is attached to the frame is again, there's no rubberized stuff, leave it alone. But if you need to, you have to go up through the control arm opening. Long wrench. Troy, sorry I'm late. Sometime work gets in the way of fun. Yep. John Bravo Films, thank God and glad it turned out awesome. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I've already said before when I did another walk around video of it earlier, it's not getting painted again. I mean, I just said however it turns out this time is how it's going to stay. The next guy can paint it again if he wants to. Jerry says there's a YouTube video to change the motor mounts. It's called How Do I Remove the Engine Mount Bolts, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I remember, doing that now, going up inside the frame. It's similar on like 73 and up Chevy trucks, I believe. I think they have the same kind of frame configuration where you have to go up inside. So I get it, but I think you'll be okay. I think you'll be okay. Well, awesome. We have 44 people still watching. That's good. Or we're up to 44. I think I had 45 a minute ago. What else was there? So talked about the 67 Mustang. Oh, I will have to get a fastback conversion kit for that. So there's a supplier that's up in Pennsylvania who will give me a decent price assuming he has all the stuff, he'll give me a decent price. But unfortunately, that means I have to drive to Pennsylvania again, which is it's on the it's like the Pennsylvania Ohio border. So I'd have to go all the way up there to get it, which I may just do it because if it saves me the cost of shipping, then I'm okay with it because the shipping is not cheap on that stuff. Or do I become a Dynacorn dealer? I think you have to have a $10,000 buy-in to be a Dynacorn dealer, but I don't know what all's involved with that. Like, I don't want to be answering phone calls. I don't want to be, for questions and trying to resolve issues. I don't think I'd have time for it, honestly. Maybe if I had a shop and some employees or something, but probably not worth it. I do know that, I think you get a discount if you buy in. It's like anybody else, AMD or any of those. If you buy in to the company, you have to spend like $10,000 and they'll send, you can, all that goes for parts. It's like you're buying parts. You're not just giving them $10,000. I haven't pursued that. Maybe I should look into that. Maybe I should. I don't know. Didier Martinez. Hello, everyone. I guess that's how you say that name. I don't know. I'll have to assume so. Glad you're here. Jerry, how to install 7073 Camaro and Firebird subframe connectors. Okay. So there's an answer for you. Jay, that's the name of the video. Thank you, Jerry. Troy, click on the thumbs up. Yes, by all means. And, I told everybody I did an experiment on that with another video that I put out. I don't know, a week or so ago, whatever it was, that I asked everybody to hit the thumbs up button. And it really helped. It really did. Because a lot of people, if they'll watch a video and they just kind of watch it, which is okay. I get that. And I usually try to, if I do see a video that has good information and something with it, either I'll try to comment on it or I will hit the thumbs up button, because that's kind of how YouTube operates. If you are starting to, if you're making videos for YouTube, the thing is you want people to hit the thumbs up button so that this number it shows people watching it. Because if people just watch it, it doesn't really show. But if they're giving thumbs up, that means they're watching and liking it. And then it's starting to take off. And then YouTube's like, hey, people are watching this video. Let's promote it to other, locations, whatever, other people. And so that's what it does. So in the future, if you're doing this, hit the thumbs up button on the videos. It helps. SN95 theft system flashing won't turn on. Tried to disconnect battery, didn't work. Okay, so you have a theft deterrent system operating. I think there's a sequence to that. I don't know what kind of vehicle, your SN95. I don't know what that vehicle is. Sometimes if you have the keyless entry, there's a process for it. Like you can hit the button a certain series or certain way, and it'll clear that. I've heard that. I don't know the sequence. I don't know what the car is. But sometimes you have to disconnect the battery for like an hour as well. Okay, so 97 Mustang. Yeah, you may want to look. Maybe there's a Ford forum that can help you with that. But I know some cars, if you have the remote, the keyless entry, you can hit the sequence button a certain way or whatever, and it'll reset everything. But I'm not sure on that particular car. Jody, have you finished the Brooklyn Pony? Nope. Have not. I'm not sure. I've said it before. I don't know what's going on with that car. I need to talk to the owner. It's been almost a year since we've communicated. That's why I've been working on this, because I need to get something done. So I have to get this done. But at this point, I don't know. Mark, you're welcome. Nick, Car looks good. Just stopping to say that. Getting ready to go home from work. Have a good weekend. Glad you stopped in, Nick. Glad you were here. Yeah, the car is looking really good. I still know where all the flaws are, and I'm still going to beat myself up over certain things. But that's kind of how I am. That's how I operate. Um, so as I was saying, there's still lots of little things to do. Getting the headliner in, getting the windows in, getting the dash put together, the dash pad, the gauge cluster, the glove box, the trim pieces, so many things. Now there's boxes of new stuff sitting all over in here that is ready to go on. One of the things I really want to get done, you know what? I probably need to do this first. Before I put the fenders on, I think before I put the fenders on, I need to get the glass back in the doors. Why? Well, because if I have to adjust anything, I feel like they're fine. I feel like they're going to be fine. But once I get the weight of the glass in the doors, if that affects anything as far as the the alignment, you really can't adjust that with the fenders on the car. So maybe I should do myself a favor. Think about this. Get the glass back in the doors, and that way I can, if I need to tweak the hinges a little, I can, and then not worry about how the fenders are going to go, because that could be 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing. Think about it. Jody, that's a shame. Really enjoyed watching the project. Awesome workmanship. Thank you. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's now been 4 years since I started on that car, and it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's no fault of mine where it's at right now, which is sitting. But I feel like I've said this before. I feel like I'm done with it. Like I don't want to work on it anymore. I'm burned out on it. I put so much blood, sweat, and tears into that car, and then I can't, I could never get it together because I couldn't get the parts that I needed or whatever. And so it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't really want to work on it. That's the truth. That's how it goes sometimes. I think we all get to that point with some things, whether it's working on a car or working on your house or yard or whatever. Eventually you're just like, I don't want to touch it anymore. That's kind of where I'm at. The other thing I need to do, other things that I need to do with this car, is I need to finish putting in the kill mat in the floor pan. I need to put in the panel that I bought that goes in the back seat area by that big metal dividing panel. So I need to clean that up, get some paint on it, and put it behind the back seat. And I'm going to probably just run screws through it, self-tapping type of screws. They offer that as a way to isolate, let's say, the back of the car from the front of the car. If heaven forbid you had a rear end collision and gas was going everywhere, it's supposed to help stop that, whatever. But I think what I'll do is put that panel on, and I may just dynamite that panel as well. Get all that blocked off. Probably put some dynamite on the inside of the quarters on the wheelhouses, on top, wherever I can to reduce road noise and stuff like that. But I have I think I have 2 boxes of kill mat, not dynamite, kill mat that I need to get in the car. Like I said, there's lots of little things that need to add up as I move forward. I got to reset I'm just looking. I know I have to reset the wipers. I have to get the posts back up through the cowl, get all that bolted in. Just there's a lot of little things that have to happen and make it, make it come together. Let me see what I have here. Okay. Thought I had an email. Dave and Cheryl. Got to get going to work. Catch up on the rest when we get home. Everyone have a good day. Jade looks great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So what else is going on out there? Anybody have any projects or stuff going on? I haven't heard from everybody. I know Nick was here briefly, and he's working on his car. I know Jerry's working on his car, fighting with hinges and fenders and all kinds of stuff. I've been checking out, Andrew, Grease Rookie Garage. He had some fenders that he put on his 65 that he got from CJ Pony. And I guess there's the CJ Pony branded parts. I think he said they were like $113 or something each. And they actually fit pretty good. He did a video on the one. And I was surprised. They fit pretty good. So I don't know if it's, again, there can't be that many, they're not going to start a whole new set of dies for these fenders. So I'm sure CJ has, somehow got the rights to the fenders. You know what I'm saying? Like one company makes them and they put them in different boxes. I don't know. I'm just speculating because I find it unlikely that somebody's going to retool a whole new set of tooling and then sell them for $113 a piece. Not going to happen. Just not going to happen. Troy, still waiting for my parts at a standstill. There's always something to do, Troy. Always something. Robert, great work, Barry. I've learned a few pointers from you that has helped me in building 2 Mustangs. Thanks for the work. Well, thank you, Robert. Appreciate that. Amarante, well, I'm working on my 70 coupe in this very moment. Well, that's cool. I didn't know you had a 70 coupe. Or maybe I saw it and just didn't notice. I don't know. I don't know if you I assume, did you post it on Instagram? Because maybe I didn't see it. Gary, hoping to get back to work on my car with a floor support, torque box, etc. Yeah, that's always fun. That's always fun. Andy Jackson went to Carlisle Ford Nationals a few weeks ago. It was a great turnout this year. Yeah, I've never been there. I've never been to the Ford Nationals, or I've never been to Carlisle that I know of, unless I went when I was very young. I don't know that I've ever been to Carlisle, at least not me driving or taking myself there. So I've always wanted to go though. Randall, hey from Mountain Green, Utah. Randall, how is the Cougar coming? I don't think we've had an update from you on the Cougar in a while. I don't know what I know you're working on quarters and different things. So Jody, working on a 66 Mustang myself, going to use your tip on the new hood where you tack weld the side to stiffen it. Great tip. Love the tips. Yes, by all means, tack weld that hood. You definitely don't want that thing doing the waffle. That's not good. Amarante, yes, I'm in the Auto Retro Uruguay page. Also, there's some in their YouTube channel. Oh, okay. All right. I guess I just haven't. I'm not familiar, so I haven't seen it. Because I know I've seen your stuff you posted on Instagram, which is really nice, detailed vehicles. But maybe I haven't seen, unless you. If you have posted a Mustang, I probably just haven't seen it. Big Red on hold till Phoenix summer ends, then to continue test fit. Yes. Always test fit. Even I've said that many times, and I'm glad you're taking it to heart. Phil, hello Barry, car looks awesome. I'm not ready to paint my HR Holden in Queensland, Australia. I'm expecting the worst, hoping for the best. Take care. Well, I'm hoping for the best. Yeah, I'm. Well, I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. Big Red inherited a 68 Porsche, though. Interesting. What are your plans for that? Amarante, I'll send you pictures later at your email if you want. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Send me some pictures. I'd like to see it. Cooter, I have plans to detail, paint in place my motor in hopes of taking it to the Great Mustang Roundup in September. I've been buying hoses, clamps, and other Fomico parts, NOS parts to install after paint. Okay. So I'm just kidding with you, but I know, we would call that a Krylon rebuild. If you remember, we used to joke about that, my dad's junkyard. Somebody would just rattle can an engine and then tell everybody it was rebuilt. And basically, it was rebuilt with Krylon. Yeah, but I hope that goes well. I mean, I get what you're saying. It's going to look nice, especially with all the NOS pieces and parts. Dawn just brought back my 68 GT Fastback from 35 years of storage. Lost to do. All these videos are great inspiration. Awesome. 68 GT Fastback, 35 years of storage. Wow. I guess I'll give you a bell for that. Jody, I was going to try and have the Mustang finish for my son's graduation, grade 12 graduation, but I'm not going to happen. So he's going to take my 70 Chevelle. Okay. Well, darn it. He's got to take the 70 Chevelle. Okay. Randall, Cougar process is slow. Drew moose and bear tags in Alaska, and my wife asked if I would need a new gun. Had to tell her I needed a new jet boat. Okay. All right. Moose and bear tags. Wow. Okay. Cooter, I also bought an R-Lite 1100 Core off of eBay to take a shot at my first carb rebuild. Stand by for many questions when that starts. Well, I don't know how many of those I can answer, but good luck with that. Randall, so I've been outfitting the new boat for a 500-mile each-way moose hunt. Ooh. I hope you get one. That's good. That should give you enough meat for what? 4 years? Something like that? Thomas, I have to get back to work. Thanks for the videos. I'll be installing a TCI front suspension on a 65 Fastback soon. Okay, cool. Glad to hear it helps. Jerry, I'm heading to the Ohio Cobra Club National Show. It's my first trip to this show, held in conjunction with the London, Ohio Strawberry Festival. Sounds interesting. And Greg, hi, Barry. Car looks good. Well done. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. I'll even give you a bell, Greg. I'm just glad you're here. Big Red, check email for pics of the Porsche. All right. Oh, okay. That's a cool car. I don't know what that model is. I'll download that real quick. We'll pull that up just because. Just because. Whoops. Wrong one. Go back here. So you inherited this Porsche or Porsche. I couldn't tell one from another. I don't know what that is. I know it's a Porsche. I can tell by looking at it, but I don't know what. I am 9 something. I don't know. I have no idea. Yes, it's a Porsche. That's about as far as I can go on that. Cooter, have to jump off for a work call. Have a good day. Well, I'm glad you were here. Okay. With that said, we're at the 1 hour mark, which is good. Troy says he has to go. Amazing job in the car. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Troy. Big Red 912 is a 4-cylinder version of the 911. Okay. Well, I can only take your word for it. I didn't think it was a 911, but I don't know I really don't know the difference. It's a Porsche. That's about as far as I can go with it. But I appreciate your letting me know. Okay, so now we're into it, and I've got things to do. I've got a car to work on, stuff to get moved and put together, and it's been great. You know, I do have a video coming out tomorrow. It's going to show a little, um, some of the buffing stuff, whatever, walk around in the car. So that'll come out tomorrow. And then I'm going to try to do these little segment type videos where I'm showing, the quarter extensions, the door handles, whatever. Try to do shorter, maybe some shorter stuff. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, look forward to sharing more with you. I'm glad you all were here. Bob Knoll. All right, Barry, have a good day and a good show and a good show. Very good show. Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. All right. So again, I'll call it a day. I'll be back on Monday night at 7. And hopefully there's more progress on the car. Maybe it'll be sitting here. Maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how the weekend goes and how much I can get done. But I'm going to call it a day, or call it an end to this segment. And again, thanks for being here. We'll do this again. But until that time, take care of yourselves. See ya.